Hey, all right. So I'm at the airport here in
After my
Atlanta,
boss saved 20% on workers' comp insurance.
and I was working on a meme, and I started with this meme last night actually, and just wanted to kind of talk about some of this stuff because I fly often, so just wanted to let's talk a little bit about you know airline travel, commercial flight and all that stuff. Uh, okay. Checking my phone now. I can see who's in the chat. All right, Nikki Nicole, what's up? Liza, how you doing? Benji Hunter, what's up? Always be humble. Good advice there. How are you? Good morning to you, Jason Ray, Secret Asian Man. I like that. Andy Valentine, my man Jacob Morley, Unique Queen, what's up? Paul the Plane, how's it going? Maureen, how are you? Steve Ash, hi Rebecca. All right, my man Rich Lopez, Daniel Creed, what's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. Um, would turn the music on, but you know, it's all right. What's up, Main Boy TV? Critical Inception. Yeah, airline travel. I know a little bit about that. I'm here in Atlanta. Um, just relaxing until my next flight. Heading over to Little Rock real quick. Here, check out that's the sunrise. I'll try to hold it still so you can get a look. All right, hold up. Let me color that up. You can't see the sunrise. Anyway, I just like to share this stuff with y'all. You know, take you on my little adventures and all. All right, let me see who's Martin Rudden in Scotland. What's up? Maddie Motivan, what's going on? Eyes open finally. Glad. Good to have your eyes open. Phase Crutch. God's Remnant. All right. So check it. Um, oh, that's a beautiful shot. Okay, so now the sun's behind the clouds. Let's see if we can get that one. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. So yeah, that's my view this morning. Okay, so as far as the airline travel goes, well, I mean, I'm kind of skeptical of how flights work on a globe anyway. Being that I did the whole thing, took the level on a plane and just watched it, watch the bubble stay in the center. And people will contest that, the bubble moved. And I just watched it again on this last flight, and I mean, half of the time the bubble. Okay, if the bubble did move from the center, okay, because you got the level, you got the two lines here. If the bubble did move a little bit off center, half of the time it moved to the front, indicating that the plane was actually nosing up, as some commercial pilots have said so. I mean, these pilots have said, yeah, we actually have to nose up. And I have a video that I need to. I don't know if I've actually put that in a video. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. That was in one of my videos from a while back. I can't even remember which one. But yeah, pilots say they actually nose up when they're flying. So the whole idea of a level on a tray table, as simple as that is, indicates that the vehicle that myself and all these lovely people are crammed into is flying through the air over a plane. The airplane is flying through the air over a plane. You already know this stuff. All right. So that's the level aspect. So then we got to think about directions as far as how planes fly, because um, we're told that the Earth is spinning, and it's supposed to be spinning eastward. At the equator, 1,000 miles, and then as you increase altitude, increase latitude, longitude, and all that, increase your longitude, away from the equator, then it just decreases in speed. So 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. You go up, and it's like 900. Go further, it's 800, whatever. And then once you're spinning at the North Pole, you barely notice any spin at all, is what they would tell us or have us believe. But they contest that the atmosphere is spinning with the Earth and that it's also curved. But let's say that the Earth is actually moving independent of the atmosphere. Like once you leave the surface of the Earth, it continues moving. I mean, we've all heard the example. Like if you have a helicopter that takes off for a few hours, and it's trying to fly west. It could be in New York, and then get off the ground for a few hours, and then like the destination will come to that helicopter, and then it could just land. You know what I mean? But that doesn't happen. As far as commercial flight takes place, flying from the West Coast to the East Coast will be a physical impossibility because commercial aircraft only have like a cruising speed at max, let's say 500-600 miles per hour. Now, if the ground is constantly moving beneath the airplane, like 800 miles per hour, 1,000 miles per hour, something like that, there's no commercial airplane that could actually keep kind of keep pace of how fast the ground's moving. So the airplane's going, 500 miles per hour, the ground's moving 800. It's never going to happen. Like the plane's not going to make it there. And then on the other side of that, you're flying from the east to the west, I believe it is. The plane can take off over here, and it should be a fraction of the time because the plane's flying this way and the ground is moving that way. So it should only be a fraction of the time to get there. But relatively, give or take, a few minutes, it's typically the same amount of time to travel from east to west. So if I'm, flying from, LA to Houston, something like that, if it takes 4 hours to get from LA to Houston, it takes just around 4 hours to get from Houston to LA. And that pretty much nullifies the idea that the Earth is actually moving, under the plane. But they tell us that the Coriolis effect causes, the snipers have to account for that, when firing at distance. So this means that each sniper has to pull out a pen and pad and say, okay, so my target's out here. He's at that distance. As soon as I fire, we got to calculate for the Earth spin. So the distance divided by the speed of the rotation of the Earth. Then we have to account for the curvature of the Earth, so we're going to have to tilt it up a little bit. By the time the sniper's figured out all these equations in his head, his target's already moved. Like it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, just considering that. But if a sniper would have to take into account the Coriolis effect, on just taking a shot, then an airplane would definitely have to account for it, but that doesn't happen either. So there's that. And then you got to think about the direction if you're flying from south to north or north to south, and the airplane, and the Earth is moving beneath the airplane. So the airplane takes off, the Earth is moving this way, he's going south. So in order to reach his destination, he's going to have to continue flying off that way, something like that. Like if I'm flying from, let's say, Little Rock to Detroit, and that's pretty much like almost a straight shot north. The airplane would have to be constantly flying northeast, in order to get there, or heading. Yeah, it would have to be flying northeast faster than the ground is moving in order to get to Detroit on time. It's like when you start thinking about the numbers, it doesn't make sense at all. But what I was working on, as far as this whole air travel situation goes, is this meme, and I want to share this with you real quick. So let me share my screen and show you this meme that I'm working on. All right, yeah, let's present to everyone. Bring that that there a little bit. Where is this thing at? Here. All right, so this is my meme. This is what I'm working on. I'm probably gonna put this up on my Facebook here real soon. But it's just, something simple just to kind of spark some thought. So it says, we are told that a plane doesn't dip its nose because it's flying relatively to the Earth's curved surface. This implies that the plane is also sailing through curving air. But as an airplane increases in altitude, wouldn't it have a greater distance to cover? Okay, think about that. Because if you're closer to the Earth's surface, all right, here, let's say this is 100 miles. As the airplane increases in altitude, the distance increases also. Would it not? I mean, that seems pretty simple. If they're telling us that the air also curves, that means that the air is also curving. But not only that the air is also curving, but that you're also increasing in distance as the air curves around the globe. Because they'll tell you that the plane is flying relatively to the surface of the Earth, so it doesn't really have to dip the nose down. You know what I mean? So if it's flying at, the thing is, airplanes say, they're like, okay, so it's 2,500 miles from Seattle to Dallas, okay, something like that. Okay, well, if we're flying through the air, okay, at an altitude, it's not going to be 2,500 miles. It's going to be more like 4,000 miles, something like that. I'm just just kind of guesstimating with that, but it's going to be a greater distance that has to be covered by the airplane. You know what I mean? So instead, if the airplane's flying 500 miles per hour, then it only takes 4 hours to get from Seattle to Houston. So that's five. Come on now. It doesn't work. The numbers don't work. You would have to increase the speed as you increase altitude, because you're going to be covering a greater distance because you're further away from the surface of the curved Earth. So if you're talking about we're flying through curved air, then we're going to have to increase the speed. We're going to have to increase the distance. So just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, it's just something I was thinking about yesterday, because I was like, okay, well, I'm about to take a flight. I'm just thinking about stuff, just relaxing. And it seemed like that made more sense. I mean, let me know what you think in the chat if there's anything else I need to add with that, because this seems like simple stuff, all right, let me see. Yeah, pretty much. Like that. North is the center, not down. True story. Okay. All right. So, I was just thinking about that. Just considering these things. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff does not make sense. A lot of it doesn't make sense. And it just throws me off how we can see clouds moving so slowly through the sky, and they have us convinced that this is what, 1,000, 900, 800 miles per hour. All we experience is stillness. All we experience is stillness ever. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how much how much convincing it's going to take for these folks. It's like they don't get it. They don't want to get it. For whatever reason, and I think it's usually out of ego, because their egos attached to their education. And they feel like, okay, well, I did all these classes and I learned all this good stuff about the globe model and about heliocentric theory and physics and astronomy and all that good stuff, and they learned all this stuff inside the parameters of the globe model. So for them to throw that away, it's a hard thing to do. And then for somebody, some normal people on YouTube to come along and just pull the rug out from underneath them. they don't deal well with that. Well, no, my professors told me. I don't care what your professors told you. They're bought and paid for. They told you some bull crap. Period. I mean, it's and what that is just an appeal to authority when they say some stuff like that. So, just sharing an idea. That was my little meme. Just thinking about that. Uh, Probably get that posted in a little bit, but I just want people to think about this stuff. Just that's all, because this is simple stuff. You know. Oh, the Earth is curved. Okay. Oh, the plane's flying with the curve, huh? Oh, because the air is curved too, right? Okay, so shouldn't we have to travel a greater distance the higher we get? You know what I mean? Like they're like, well, I mean, the airplanes are going so fast, and the pilots they don't worry about it. Anyway, no pilots think the Earth is flat. They'll just skip right over that, and not even give it a thought. But you got to find people who can actually, sit down and contemplate some things. And a lot of people don't even want to do that. That's what we deal with. You know, Standard cognitive dissonance. It is what it is. All right. So, with all that being said, that's me sharing my meme, and gonna go ahead and close this one out. So I'm just not rambling too long. I'll be on my way to grab something to eat with no meat. And I'll be in touch with you. Trying to keep you updated on these things, and if anything comes up, I'll let you know about that. Um, there we go. Upcoming events. I'm being interviewed by Zen Garcia next Thursday. I believe that's going to be a Skype interview. I've never talked to Zen Garcia, so this ought to be good. Let me see what else. I was back and forth. I play that track by Jay Malpo. Never went. Play that yesterday, and we sent some emails back and forth. So we haven't gotten anything on the schedule just yet. So I might get Jay on an interview. Just introduce him to the family, so we can all get to know Jay Malvo. He's another truther musician out there, spreading the word through music, and we need to attack this thing from as many angles as we can. So he was excited about the idea of us being able to sit down and chat. I just need to get back with him. I got get a little busy traveling and all that. So yeah, I'll send him a message back. We'll put something on the schedule, and I'll let you know. And yeah, so gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, unless I can think of anything else in the next few seconds. No. Anyway, let me say good morning and goodbye to some folks in the chat. I see Anders Ace, Mick Takala, Flathead Politics. What's up, man? It's Lady Leg 75. Jamie Brown's in the house. What's good? Noob Club. Isaac King. Greg Smith. What's up, man? All right. A82. You're welcome. Nemo. What's going on, man? Benz B M P N D. All right. Thank you very much. Tranquil Waves, my man Ron Hagberg is in the house. Julia H. Ice Double XD. What's good? Trevor Prather. What's up? All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Oh yeah, there's the jet fuel hoax. The whole idea that airplanes aren't even running off of fuel, like they're using compressed air and this vortex technology. Like the big planes, they got the big turbine engines. It's like they're flying through the air because they're sucking air through these turbine engines so fast that it's just kind of pulling the airplanes through the sky. And we've been lied to about like everything. It makes me sick. But yeah, so that's just something I have to check about, I guess. And that was about as well as I can get into it. There's been a lot of stuff by who enslaved by no media gets into the jet fuel hoax, I believe. My guy Jason Maggard gets into that, and how airplanes aren't traveling at the altitude and speed that they travel. This guy Jason Maggard, he's local, doesn't stay too far from Tacoma. But yeah, I was hanging out with him one day, and we were watching airplanes fly overhead. And yeah, he has a channel. He works with I believe it's Enslaved by No Media, and they go into a lot of stuff about airplane speed, airplane size, airplane altitude while they're flying, and also there's another weird thing about airplanes. Like when you're in there, you'll notice that rows are missing. Like you'll be on an airplane and you'll get on and you go through first class and it's got rows 1 through 6, and then you'll walk forward and then it'll go like 10, 11, 12, stop at 12, and then it'll be row 15. And you go 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and it'll skip to like row 23. It's like rows are missing in airplanes. It's like they're not as big as we're told. And for some reason or another, they don't have every row on an airplane. Like I've seen that so many times. I just have to film that, get a real quick clip, when I get on this next plane. But it's not. This is not what we've been told. This place is weird. This place is so weird. But anyway, go ahead and hop off this thing. All right, folks. Be good to each other. Take care of yourself. Stay flat. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Thank you.